Port Charles in peril. 7 women on the brink of destruction. The quiet streets of Port Charles are about to become a powder keg of secrets, betrayal, and explosive consequences. While some scandals simmer beneath the surface, others are ready to erupt in full force during the highly anticipated nurses' ball. At the epicenter of the chaos are 7 women, each balancing precariously on the edge of devastation. From unhinged acts of desperation to high-stakes blackmail, these stories are a ticking time bomb. And when they blow, no relationship, no reputation, and certainly no secret will be safe. One of the most volatile threads winding through this web of implosion belongs to Christina Corinthos Davis. What began as a misguided vendetta against Ava Jerome has now escalated into a dangerous situation with life-altering consequences. Christina, convinced that Ava's manipulations had gone too far, targeted what she believed was Ava's car and disabled its brakes. The problem? The car actually belonged to Rick Lansing, her own father. The result was a catastrophic crash that left Rick and Elizabeth Weber clinging to life. Though the truth hasn't yet fully emerged, Lucky Spencer's involvement may soon force Christina's hand. With his discovery of Ava and Rick's plot to blackmail Alexis, and mounting suspicion over the brake failure, the walls are closing in on Christina. She may be forced to confess, not just to protect Alexis, but to finally confront the fallout of her fractured morality. And while a confession might spare her the worst legal consequences, it won't mend her shattered bond with her sister Molly Lansing Davis. Already scarred by the emotional devastation of the surrogacy debacle and the loss of the child Christina once promised to deliver, Molly has only recently begun to piece her life back together. To learn that Christina has once again endangered the family, this time nearly killing their father, may be the final blow. Even if Christina's actions are written off as a byproduct of her deteriorating mental state and she is committed to a psychiatric facility, the emotional wreckage may be beyond repair. Molly, already grieving lost trust, may now grieve the sisterhood itself. Ava Jerome, never one to stay out of the crossfire, finds herself ensnared in her own unraveling scheme. Her blackmail campaign against Alexis, long a silent force manipulating outcomes behind closed doors, is now fully exposed. But Alexis, fueled by a sense of justice and aided by Spinelli's digital finesse, has turned the tide. Ava's desperation has grown visible. She's moved Rick's car in a last-ditch attempt to keep control, even leaving behind a taunting note in a move that reeks of hubris. The act may soon be her undoing. Her financial empire, propped up by underhanded deals and artistic deception, stands at the brink of collapse. Her art gallery, a symbol of reinvention and power, may be lost in the scandal's aftermath. The fallout doesn't stop there. Once Sonny Corinthos becomes aware of Ava's exploitation of Alexis, he may renege on the fragile custody agreement they share for Avery. His decision to co-parent was grounded in medical necessity, a compromise during his recovery. But with his heart surgery behind him and his strength returning, Sonny's tolerance for betrayal is gone. Ava's latest manipulation could cost her not just financial security but also her child. And as Lucky Spencer continues to pull at every thread connecting Ava, Rick, and Alexis, Ava's fortress of secrets may soon become a prison of her own making. Then there is the silent devastation of Molly Lansing Davis. Unlike Christina or Ava, Molly's suffering stems not from scheming but from the betrayals of those she once trusted implicitly. First, she endured the collapse of her dream to start a family with TJ, marred by the loss of the baby that Christina once promised to bring into their lives. Now, she must reconcile the horrifying realization that her sister tampered with a vehicle and lied about it while their father underwent critical surgery. As she sat by Rick's hospital bed, tears in her eyes, Molly believed Christina's remorse was genuine. The truth will shatter her. It is one thing to lose a child or a relationship, but to lose faith in your own blood? That is an ache that lingers far longer than physical pain. Elsewhere in Port Charles, the chain reaction of these unfolding tragedies is sure to touch even more women standing too close to the fire. Alexis Davis, already battered by blackmail and haunted by her past choices, is risking everything to bring Ava down. But how many bridges will she burn in the process? Her daughter's future hangs in the balance, and if Christina's secret is exposed too publicly, it might do irreparable damage to both their lives. Diane Miller, normally unshakable, is preparing for the possibility of defending Christina in a criminal trial, knowing full well the emotional cost it will carry. For a woman so often defined by her courtroom victories, this will be a case where even winning may feel like losing. And then there's the growing presence of Lucky Spencer, once a beloved figure who now finds himself a central force in the brewing storm. His re-entry into Port Charles is far from casual. He has been watching, calculating, and connecting dots that everyone else hoped would remain unlinked. His investigation has reopened old wounds, revealing betrayals and lies that others worked so hard to bury. Lucky isn't just unraveling Ava's blackmail. He's uncovering an entire network of sins that could send shockwaves across Port Charles, ending careers, tearing families apart, and rewriting alliances in real time. The upcoming Nurses' Ball, a traditionally elegant and charitable affair, is poised to be the setting for reckoning. If these storylines collide as predicted, there may be no time for celebration, only revelation. Secrets kept in shadows will come screaming into the light. Lives will be upended, relationships will fracture, and for some of these 7 women, there may be no recovery. Port Charles is a town built on redemption and reinvention. But as this week's events unfold, it seems that not every woman caught in the web of betrayal will get a second chance. For Christina, Ava, Molly, Alexis, and the others standing at the precipice, one misstep could mean complete ruin. And for the rest of us watching, every heartbeat of chaos promises a can't-miss moment in a town where no secret stays buried for long.